Hi, folks. This is Mountainman coming to you from parts unknown. Well, let's hope that it's a better signal than last night. And I appreciate everybody that's given me their support. And I appreciate everybody who comes in tonight and everybody who watches the broadcast afterwards. I decided to leave the broadcast last night up, even though it was very choppy. And turned out, a lot of people, at least they got to see some memes, So there wasn't much I could do about it. So hopefully people get in tonight and can let me know how I'm coming in, if I'm going good or not, because I got a strategy in case things are sketchy. Hopefully my strategy will work. We'll see. How many people we got in tonight? No. How many people we got in tonight? Let me know how I'm doing, Bubba. Have I got a good signal? I'll try to keep talking. I see I got my two memes up here. We're fighting $1 trillion propaganda machine with memes. Ha ha ha. We're getting the band back together. So let me see how it's coming in. Oh, 5x5 in Kansas. Oh, good. I got a 5x5. Well, I changed my location a little bit. Pink hand waving. Ha, ha, ha. Hi, Susie. KS Cleanup. Debbie. Doc. Kicking Bird. Rubber Toe. Diane. White Lightning. Hello. All right. Okay, well, let me know if it gets a little crazy. Hi, Nikki. How are you doing? Alan. Well, that's good. So hopefully we'll get a bunch of people in tonight and have a good time. We're going to be talking. The freaks are freaking out. That's what I put on my thumbnail. And I got that from watching a clip. Well, Diane, don't plug another show on my channel. I swear. I'm just flabbergasted. I'm flabbergasted. All right, Bill. Thank you. Sounds good. I appreciate you supporting the channel the other night. Bill, I'm trying to get myself in a better mood. I don't know. I just don't know. Hi, Jax. How you doing? Let me see that. Get that comment out of there. Anyway, yeah, it was aggravating last night. Very aggravating. I had a lot of stuff prepared and had my mind right. And I don't need to get myself distracted. So I got this notion of freaks are freaking out from the queen of the lib freaks, bureaucratic freak show, Jen Psaki. She had on her program, who I call Mr. Sweaty Man, Weissman. And remember that name. And I keep saying stuff over and over. Hey, I said this a long time ago. Hey, remember when I talked about this a long time ago? Because, some people weren't subscribed back when I said it, or people may forget. But I will toot my own horn. And I've said many times that Weissman is somebody to keep an eye on, and we're going to be watching him defend himself in front of the world in court. Andrew Weissman, remember that name. But anyway, they are trying to paint in a good light somehow that this business with Fannie Willis, this business with Judge Chutkin, this business with Jack Smith, this business with Fat Alvin Bragg, all this garbage that is blown up in their face, they're trying to put a twist on it. that it's not as bad as it seems, or we'll get into that. I'll put up some examples of what kind of videos they're putting out. White Lightning says, I'm breaking up. Much clearer. Okay, well, we'll just keep on going. You know, nothing's perfect. Well, I'm going through the comments, see what's going on. I'll be skipping picture shows for a while after this, I guess. But anyway, let's see. Here's a video, just a short one, but people are starting to get out and put some things up. They're braving it. You can tell they're kind of new, putting out videos. I didn't watch all of it, but the thing is, what the deep state likes to do is put out thumbnails that project a notion. Well, now more and more creators are putting out and projecting our own notions. Like right here, you can tell this is a starter meme. A starter thumbnail. Somebody who's just getting used to putting thumbnails together. It says, "I'm so screwed because I have receipts." The young lady who was a whistleblower trying to do a program to help youths stay out of jail and redirected the money outright being stolen. So I'm encouraged when I see stuff like that. Yeah, Nikki said, please hit the thumbs up button. All right, let's see. Hi, Douglas. How are you? Jax is here. Douglas here. Bill, I want to thank you for supporting the channel. I want to thank Beverly and Mike for supporting me about an hour before I went up. They gave me a little encouragement with Buymeacoffee, and I really appreciate that to everybody. So let's see. I tell you, you know how I say that I'm not going to, hi, Karen, that I'm not going to I put comments in anymore. Well, I had to. I'll go over that. I had to put a comment on some of these liberals' crazy situations. I'm gonna ask a question. I'm gonna ask a trivia question, and give you all time. No goggling. No goggling. You remember how I talked about that president of El Salvador, right? El Salvador. And how he started those mega prisons, and how crime dropped, murders went down to zero, dropped 100%. Well, whoops, I got the wrong one. I'm enlarging here. There we go. El Salvador became safer than the United States in 2023. Latino metrics, isn't that neat? But anyway, here's my trivia question. And no goggling. They just had an election. And guess what percentage the president of El Salvador got reelected by? No goggling. Da, 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 da. He's the one that instituted the mega prisons. He's the one that started arresting cartel members, people who were members of gangs. One of the prisons housed 60,000 plus people. And he just got reelected. And I'm thinking Trump's going to be in the same category. Let's see what guesses we have here. KS Cleanup says 70%. Georgia said 100%. He's not Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein got 95, and Kim Jong-un got 98. So I don't know anybody got 95. or over 95. Let's see. Diane said 87. Melinda, 99. Sissy, 99. David said 90.5. Alan said 75. Kicking Bird said 90. Jack said 90. Debbie said 90. Okay. Bubba said 95. Kim said 99.9. Well, like I said, the highest I'd ever seen was Adolf, okay, Saddam Hussein, and Kim Jong-un, and they didn't even get 100% or 99 or anything like that. But no, this was a legit, and guess what? They hand counted them, and guess what? They had the results that night, okay? They didn't need no stinking contraptions. Machine, I don't need no stinking machine. Okay, the answer is, but see if anybody else guesses, and I'll tell you who was the closest one. Dun 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 boom boom. 85%. 85%. So the closest one was, oh, wait a minute. It's on like, if it's like Price is Right, if you go over, you don't win, right? If you go over on Price is Right, you don't win. Diane came the closest with 87, but went over. I don't know. Y'all pick whatever rules you want to pick. How you doing, Redhausen? So Alan said 75, which is not over, but closest. So Diane and Alan can split a Cupid doll. You and a Cupid doll. Let's see. All right. So I think what's going to happen and what they're starting to realize is that Trump is going to pull the same thing. Trump is going to mirror what happens in El Salvador once we get honest elections. And what I think is the 15, you're talking a lousy 15% voted for somebody else. And I think that's old government bureaucrats who want to get back in power, and that's it. That's all they got. Wouldn't you agree? So, yeah, we're getting the band back together. You better believe it. Anyway, here's a creep. Here's a creepo. I had this in my studio last night. Swatter arrested California teenager, 17-year-old, faces charges in Florida involving nationwide swatting incidents and bomb threats. And I'm sure he did some of them, but yeah, I think there's some more people involved, but we'll see. At least they got somebody for it, right? And here, everything that they put out in the news for us to be safe, be careful, do this, do that for our health, the mainstream always has coordinated drumbeat, pushing people to do whatever is on the Klaus Schwab schedule, right? How come you don't hear anything about the mainstream media saying anything about this right here? And when we get, somebody that's on the other side coming in our chats, these are some things I saved. I wanted to see when my financial expert came back in the chats. I haven't seen him lately, or her, I don't know. But I haven't shown some of this stuff I'm showing now because I was waiting for them to come in so I don't have to go looking for it again when they bring it up. They always talk about the CDC or the WHO, all these authorities, and I've got had stuff in the studio to answer them here. They quietly admit there's no solid scientific backing for giving children, quote, gender affirming care. Okay? But the real, what a responsible group would say, that there's plenty of evidence of the harm it causes. Hi, Donna. How you doing? Marilyn, how you doing? Wanda. So, MS Motorsports, how you doing? So anyway, but even this grudging acknowledgement is not being reported, and it should be reported all over the place. This is stuff that I'll go over stuff I had last night real quick. Speaking of Fat Alvin, here we go. Fat Alvin. He's under fire. Alvin Bragg defends releasing illegal immigrants who beat up New York Police Department. Says video evidence wasn't enough. They were released because they could not, quote, conclusively identify each defendant in the photo. So they're taking a beating for what they're proposing with the border, and rightfully so. And this story, with what happened to the police and how they handled it afterward, has got to be repeated, got to be shown, because this border deal was outrageous, and everybody and their brother is condemning it. And you've got that young Marine who Alvin Bragg's office pressed charges on that young Marine. I thought I had an article on that, or a tweet somebody put out in response to this, because we can't forget about him. Where did that go? Well, it might have got bumped out of my studio. I hope not, but let me see if I can find it. Right. Well, anyway, a lot of people on the left don't even know about that young Marine who has been charged. Here we go. Alvin Bragg's office. Libs of TikTok. One of these people is in our country illegally. Illegally, beat up cops and was released without bail. The other is a former Marine who protected riders on a subway from a violent psycho. Criminal charges and was released on $100,000 bail. Democrats soft on violent crime and no bail policies in action. So it's going to get down to the point where there will only be 15% for this Biden administration. And since they won't report it, they won't report on the facts and things like that, that's why we got to keep going and putting stuff out there. Here's something that they're hitting on. Well, they're talking about how much Trump is spending on his legal bills and laughing about it, thinking it's funny. So I'll get to that in a little bit, but let me ask you all if anybody's heard anything about this situation. Wonderful and brilliant Mike Gill, a highly respected member of the Trump administration, was ruthlessly and viciously SH and then OT in the head during a carjacking in Washington, D.C. He was a capital letter special person. His family and friends are devastated. The federal government must take over D.C. God bless Michael and his family. So we've discussed that, and that is Trump has got to take over D.C. The federal government has got to take it over. And for one reason, of course, this crime and lawlessness. And when you had that Mayor Muriel Bowser encouraging people to throw rocks and bottles at Trump and Bill Barr and Milley when they were out there and they set fire to the church, all that stuff aside. The real problem, or a equally, or if not worse problem, is this corrupt judicial system that is nesting in D.C., where Durham suffered his first two and only losses of a 30-year career prosecuting people because of D.C. influence, the lawlessness that's going on there. Judge Chutkan, okay, and this business about the D.C. Court of Appeals delaying supposedly their business with Trump immunity, and this Judge Engoron, who's delayed his ruling in the communist show trial he had for Trump. Let me tell you, there's stuff going on there. I would bet dollars to donuts that there's communications going on there, very serious in nature. And they're at a crossroads, and they're getting pressure. Chutkan and Engoron specifically right now are under a lot of pressure from the evil ones. I'll put it that way. Hi, Island Girl. Elva, how you doing? Miss Mendersue, how you doing? I'm scrolling up to see who I got in here. Who all's coming in? Christina, how you doing? All right, David. Thank you, buddy, from Connecticut. Try to stay warm. All right, yeah, please hit the like button. Podge that like button. Anyway, I didn't have time to get a video of David Weissman talking to Jen Psaki, and she used the term freaking out more than one time, that they were freaking out how things were going with Judge Chutkan. And, there was one letter communication to Engoron from a retired judge, I believe, that I talked about in the last broadcast, where they said, look, you've got to, in order to penalize somebody for fraud, you have to have the basics of fraud, kind of like a victim, somebody who's actually been defrauded, not where you feel a fraud in your brain has occurred. You just feel it. Feelings don't matter. You have to have actual fact. And but there's such a thing I've heard of in the past as when they have private communications, and they say, hey, this is off the record, and they tell them the hard truth. Sometimes people are in many different walks of life and jobs. Many times people are given the option to do the right thing. And they are dressed down for their actions in private. And I've also heard of the term conditionally private. Okay, this is communication, letter, or whatever is conditionally private. In other words, here's what I'm telling you you're doing wrong. And you need to straighten it out. And you straighten it out, this conversation never happened. All right? But if you don't straighten it out, this conversation will be made known. Okay? I don't know how, I'm just telling you what I heard. Conditionally private. All right? There's also things that were, all right, people are encouraged to retire, okay? Things like that. So, just to give you all a little something to think about what might be going on. Now, with Judge Chutkin, they're pushing this line that she has ruled that the trial will not go forward. That's the kind of double talk they put up. Here is where Citizen Free Press had a clip. But Fannie Willis is getting, quote, outside lawyers to help her with court filings. Remember what I said about Kaplan? That's another one on the loser list, Kaplan. They're all in trouble. They're all facing quandaries, where they got to make some tough choices. And they're squirming, all of them. Every single one of them is squirming. But they use terms like the lawyer named Kaplan said, we overlapped. We overlapped. Instead of saying they worked together or had a professional relationship prior to this case, things that would normally disqualify them, they say we overlapped. And, when you hear somebody has lawyered up, that's usually a sign that they're in trouble. So-and-so lawyered up. Well, here they just say, she's getting outside lawyers. But these goofballs you see in the picture, that's the Midas touched in the head crowd that I keep talking about. And look how happy that dope is on the left. Now, he's the one I said that I don't know if he's a lawyer or what he is, but the behavior he's exhibited, if he's got a law degree, they ought to take it from him. But anyway, it says Georgia prosecutor punches back hard against Trump's attack. What? What are you talking about? Trump isn't attacking. They got caught. They got caught with their hands in the cookie jar. She got caught messing around with another woman's husband. And they call it Trump's attack. Isn't that something? Well, here is Technofog. That's that guy on the left there. I said before, he is a soy boy. He's trying to grow a beard, and it looks like pigeon fuzz, a fuzz around a pigeon's behind. But anyway, here we go. Is this Technofog? Yeah. Fulton County DA Fannie Willis and Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade have been subpoenaed to testify on February 15th about their affair. Other members of the Fulton County DA's staff have also been subpoenaed. But then there's more from Technofog. Wait, there's more. More explosive allegations against Fulton County DA Fannie Willis. Witnesses will testify she, quote, cohabitated with Nathan Wade despite her denials at her home. The relationship began 2019 through 23. years before Willis Wade said it began, and before Wade's 2021 appointment. They shared an Airbnb at taxpayers' expense. So this has been going on since 2019. They're getting caught in a fib. Now, how does this little nitwit right here, how do they have that prosecutor punches back hard against Trump's attack? You know, they're not being forthright. They're not being honest. And I don't think somebody should have the privilege of having the ability to practice law when their public behaviors exhibit a bias that doesn't border on libelous, is outright libelous. We got to start calling things what they are and discrediting these people and making sure they don't hold an office. Now, here is a clip I had last night, and I know y'all might have seen it by now. I like being the first with my clips. But here, you'll hear where I got my title for last night's video when you hear what she says at the beginning, okay? Let me play this for you.
Good Sunday morning. We begin with our brand new NBC News poll, which brings more warning signs for President Biden and his re-election campaign. One of our pollsters tells us we are looking at a, quote, presidency in peril. With the general election just 9 months away, President Biden has declined on every measure since 2020, is struggling with key elements of his base, and now trails former President Donald Trump by wide margins on the issues voters say are most important to them.
Yeah, presidency in peril. And that is, what is that? MSNBC or Meet the Press? Yeah. So that's the mainstream news media, Meet the Press. Hi, Ian, how you doing? Tennessee, how you doing? So presidency in peril. You're starting to hear the people say that to the mainstream crowd. And here is breaking news that Biden and Kamala Harris put out as a warning to everybody. Breaking news. They had a press conference. Democrats warned Trump may try to prevent World War III and close the border if elected. Ha ha ha. So, well, it's true. It's true. So we're going to keep going through these court hearings and tear down these notions that have been put in so many people's heads about Trump being so bad and this and that. What has he done that has incurred your ire? That's a question to ask these people. What is wrong with you? Why do you have that kind of animosity towards Trump? We're sitting here showing you the things he's done good, the things he's going to do good, and how many of the narratives that they pushed were lies. You were believing liars to the point where you were repeating lies. And it's like I've said, you know, I don't know if I got a screenshot of it, but Trump was putting in there about the border deal. A phrase I encourage people to use in the past. He said the border deal was horrible. Republicans need to stand up. Biden does not need a bill. He does not need a deal to enforce the law, to close the borders. And he said, don't be stupid. It's like I was saying the other night. We don't call people stupid. We tell them not to be stupid. And then the next day, Trump uses the same. It's not really a tactic. It's just a way of communicating to people that doesn't insult them. Don't be stupid. Don't repeat lies. It's very unbecoming. If you say Trump is R-A-P, okay, ist, I-S-T, you're repeating a lie. And it is very unbecoming. So, just a few ways for you to get if you get involved with a foaming at the mouth, freaked out lib, you can hopefully communicate with them without coming to blows or them wanting to do something to you. But anyway, here's I didn't get a just the quote was enough for me. Jim Cramer, Citizens Free Press. Jim Cramer, he's the one that goes, buy, 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 ding, 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 and everybody buys the stock, and then the stock goes to hell in a handbag. And he's still on TV 10 years later, But anyway, Jim Cramer, the long knives are out for Elon Musk, like I haven't seen in a long time. Well, that's interesting. What long knives? Who are the long knives? So we've got the SEC we know is compromised. I'll go over that in a future video. And a lot of you will remember some of the that Gensler guy tied in with scam bankman fraud, okay? And that pyramid scheme there also tied in with different colleges. But anyway, so we got this stuff going on with Elon Musk. And who's the other one they're nervous of? Elon Musk and Tucker Carlson. Okay? Boy, with them teamed up, they're ripping their hair out of their head. They don't know what to do. So what are they doing? They're ganging up with trying to dream up phony criminal charges, phony civil lawsuits, okay? Trying to band people together to try to muscle Elon Musk out of Twitter. They're doing every dirty, rotten thing you can think of. And we got to talk about it. We got to push it out there that this is their modus operandi, okay? To slander, attack, and here's a screenshot I got from Midas Touched in the Head about Trump. This is a short. Look at the kind of language they use. Vile Trump falls apart. Most incoherent and deranged speech yet. Barely able to speak. Part 1. See there on the bottom left-hand corner, Midas Touch Network. Now, if I were to put stuff like that, not just this headline, this title, but insulting, I would get in trouble for bullying. I'd get in trouble for something, because they would organize some kind of complaint campaign against me or something, but they can get away with any garbage they want because they're all part of this bunch here. The hoaxers and the liars. Oh, did I mention Jussie Smollett was Kamala Harris's nephew? Yeah. I know I mentioned it, but I mentioned it again, okay? For the newbies that are coming in. Let me see what's going on in the chats. Hi, Sissy. Mary, hello, how are you? Yeah, they're deranged, Melinda said. You got that right, Melinda. Oh, yeah. Putin is going to drop a Moab. I agree there. Let me see what Clandestine said about that. The people are, he is next to Trump. He's one of the most well-known people on the face of the earth. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Because he puts out truth, okay? People eat it up. They love truth. And let me see what clandestine put out here. Here, no, that's Trump. Wait a minute. I'll get to his statement in a minute. But clandestine put out something. I got to be careful what I say. Here we go. Here we go. Tucker's research is the biggest on earth. His interview with Trump did 267 million views. Whatever Tucker is doing in Russia, the deep state are terrified of it. They know one of their darkest secrets is about to get massive exposure. They did the exact same thing when Trump and close to Putin. They threw an absolute fit and cried treason. Well, I have to correct him a little bit. When Trump and Putin got together and Putin talked about the 300 million that got donated to Hillary's campaign by the U.S. intelligence officials who took millions out of Russia. Okay? We went over that. But anyway, why are they afraid? Because they are afraid what Putin will share with Trump. Putin is an anti-globalist. Putin knows about their criminality in Ukraine. Putin knows where the bodies are buried. Putin has repeatedly called out the West's version and widespread P3, deophilia. He calls out the Western oligarchs' plot to create BIO weapons and to manufacture a BIO, crises to enrich themselves and steal elections via a certain type of voting. Putin is as red-pilled as they come. They can't have any of these. They can't have any of these truths on the airwaves, let alone on the biggest platform on the planet. So, yeah, I guarantee you, Tucker's got some heavy security around him. And, the young lady I put up in that thumbnail where she got Fannie Willis, I'm hoping that she has got enough coverage that she is safe. Because remember what happened to that staffer, okay? It was in Georgia, wasn't it, where his car blew up? They said it was a wreck. All right. So I'm hoping she's okay. And, she's a liberal and she, or whatever, but she's, a good-hearted person. She's trying to do the right thing, But that doing the right thing doesn't work with the libs. So hopefully she'll be safe. Here we go. Here's some stuff about that border deal. Here's what Patricia Dixon put out. There they are. A dangerous river crossing. But anyway, Senate bill grants amnesty to illegal aliens in the U.S. for 14 plus days or 100 plus miles from the border. So what the Senate bill says, if you get across that border and can get 101 mile or 100 and a quarter mile or 100 miles and 10 feet, you got amnesty. Or if you can't travel 100 miles, if you can hide for 2 weeks and then get found, you got amnesty. And I don't think Patricia Dixon would put up some misinformation. I believe that's in the bill. Then you have Citizen Free Press right here. Denver police at the airport off the record. The media will not tell you this. We've arrested the Denver police in Denver has arrested over 50 Al-Qaeda members in the last 2 months. Remember, Trump said it's 100% chance that there's going to be a OR attack in this country. Pappy Two Bears, how you doing? That's right, Donna. That's what Putin said. I can't say it, but S-A and then T-A-N, right? Worshippers. And there are a lot of them. So, good. I'm seeing some 5x5s. Good. That's good. So, anyway, that's not all about that border. If I get some more, I'll pop it up here. But I had Trump's quote from Truth Social, but the Newsmax is putting it on UTizzle, so I'll show it too. Close the border now. Former President Donald Trump blasts a bipartisan. What idiot would vote for this? 100 miles or 14 days. 5,000 a day. Then you can stop. They can allow 5,000 a day in. Only a fool or a radical Democrat would vote for this horrendous border bill, which only gives shutdown authority after 5,000 encounters a day, when we already have the right to close the border now, which must be done. The bill is a great gift to Democrats and a death wish for the Republican Party. It takes the horrible job the Democrats have done on immigration and the border, absolves them, and puts it squarely on the shoulders of Republicans. Here we go. Don't be stupid. We need a separate border and immigration bill. It should not be tied to foreign aid in any way, shape, or form. The Democrats broke immigration and the border. They should fix it. Make America great again. So, yeah. Where is it? Let me see. Here we go. Here's a good meme for you. Fake invasion. Real alien invasion. Any questions? Ha ha ha. Let me see. How you doing, Ken? No border control. What? Well, if there's nobody running through it, MS, because they can see that thing from a couple of miles, and it takes, 60 seconds. They can go a half a mile in 60 seconds. How do I know that? Because they can go a mile a minute on a paved road. If they go 30 miles an hour on a dirt road, they can go half a mile in 60 seconds. So if there's nobody piling through there, they don't have to be standing right there. So I had a report where illegal crossings dropped by 70%. Let me see if I can. I had that stuff all lined up in my brain, what's left of my brain. Here we go. Listen, Elon Musk, I was talking about him. Biden's strategy is very simple. Get as many illegals in the country as possible. Legalize them to create a permanent majority, a one-party state. That is why they're encouraging so much illegal immigration. Simple yet attractive. Biden to prioritize legal status for millions of immigrants. And I remember when Marco Rubio, when he first got into the Senate, he got with John McCain, or John McCain got with him, John McStain, and had him talking that amnesty crap. And he got straightened out real quick. Even this creep right here. I played a clip from him a long time ago. I'm not playing more clips from him. He's filthy mouth, Trump antagonist, coming to his senses. So, yeah, I see in the comments 50 Cent said he's going to, 50 Cent said he's going to support Trump. I mean, he say thinking about it, yeah. Like okay, whatever. But here's something I want to ask the chats about. A Dan Scavino post right here. Let me see what you all make of this. This is a Dan Scavino. John. Laughy faces, skull and crossbones. Laughy face, skull. Laughy face, skull and crossbones. Laughy face, skull. So, do not tell John. What in the world? There you got Sarah Huckabee Sanders, right? You got Dan Scavino. And John Bolton. And they're laughing. And I guess he walks away and they're laughing behind his back. But what does this calm mean, folks? And look at that last picture. I don't know if it has anything to do with it or not. But the last picture, the bottom right-hand corner picture, you'll see a fourth person in there, a guy with a lot of face to wash, kind of looking at him. Maybe he's a security guard or something. But what's going on there? What does Scavino mean? Do not tell John. Aha, skull and crossbones. And you see John Bolton. I guess he's being made fun of. Who's everybody? Hi, David. How you doing? Yeah, he has been. Now, yeah, well, JFK Jr., I see that. Trump went on Maria Bartiromo. That's what I wanted to talk about last night. Just what I said. I mean, I had somebody I used to talk with who just something wrong with their brain. They might be listening, but they don't hear what you're saying. And I don't talk to them anymore. But first thing he started saying, well, Trump needs to pick JFK Jr. That's the ticket. That's what we need. Blah, blah, blah. And I told him a year ago, I said, JFK Jr. is good to wake up normies about the big pharma, okay? But he has got a history of having communist leanings. He is a super socialist. And I've said that for over a year on this platform. And I said, there's no way Trump would pick RFK Jr. Well, he's such good friends with JFK Jr. and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. The guy makes Bernie Sanders look like Ronald Reagan, okay? So Trump pretty much proved what I was saying there by saying, no, I'm not thinking about RFK Jr. Yeah. So, yeah, people can rest easy about that. What's this one? Another Dan Scavino post. The face is going, shh. What is he saying? President Biden quietly reverts back to many of Trump's policies. Though President Biden rode into office on a promise to undo the work of former President Trump, his administration found itself quietly forced to revert back to Trump policies and initiatives. Well, he removed the designation of terror from the Houthis. Then the next thing you know, they're bombing our bases, and he's got to put that designation back on them. You don't hear about any of that in the news, but they went for almost a solid year being treated favorably. Here we go. Y'all saw this? What do you think? Trump asked everybody in the crowd. He said, "Everybody's been saying for years I look like Elvis. What do you think?" And they put this picture up. You know, I'm putting some memes on Truth. If you're on Truth, I'm under Mountainman. I think it's Mountainman Speaker or Mountainman Says. Law degrees will be obsolete. Oh, well, that's a thought. Yeah. I mean, they're abusing it. They're abusing their this lawfare business is nothing but abuse. Greenland's a nice place. Trump thinks it's a nice place too. So anyway, here's the kind of crap they've been putting out. This kind of crap right here. Explosive jobs growth. U.S. economy created 353,000 jobs in January. This is the kind of garbage a lib would throw at you about how great Biden's doing. Well, in December, we had 302,000 migrants cross the border, okay? So even if this phony number was true, what good does it do when you're bringing in a bunch of dependent people? If I'm not mistaken, 302,000 minus 353 is 51. When you calculate the loss, the economic loss for taking care of these individuals, never mind factoring in the criminal actions, many of burglaries, thefts, and a lot worse. No, it's a disaster. But anyway, here's a follow-up. Full-time work is being replaced by part-time jobs as Americans and businesses struggle. That's from Business Magazine, okay? I mean, what is the name of that damn thing? But anyway, it's more authoritative than MSNBC, I'll put it that way. But they say, hey, we created this job. Well, when people got to work two jobs, it's one human being working two jobs. When they used to be able to get by on one. And their part-time jobs, they don't have it. Here you go. Do you believe Biden's economic plan created a record number of jobs? Yeah, I have 3 of them. So you add that factor to the all the people that are coming in here that shouldn't be in here. You know, and that's the thing. They're twisting that around now, just like Trump is pointing out. They're getting themselves off the hook. They're getting themselves off the hook for the for immigration. For years, they've been saying it's not a problem. It's not a problem. Get the kids out of the cages. Here we go. Will Chamberlain put it out. Dems in 2021. There's no crisis at the border. 2022. No crisis at the border. 2023. No crisis at the border. 2024. There's been a crisis at the border for years. This bill, it's their fault. Exactly right. Don't be stupid. Don't let them manipulate. And, you know, we've got a disgraceful media to thank for this kind of stuff. Oh, man, I've gone over an hour. Let me play this other video. Here we go. Let me play this for you. Now, the picture's not good on this, but you can hear the numbers, why they're freaking out, okay? This was Sunday, why they're freaking out.
Let's just start with the bottom line. When you ask folks, hey, if it's the general election and it's Trump versus Biden, in our poll, Donald Trump now leads Joe Biden by 5 points. Compare that to the last time we polled back in November. Trump was ahead then, but it was only by 2 points. It's even more significant when you look at it this way. Over time, we have been testing for 5 years now, going back to 2019, a Biden-Trump matchup. Remember, 2019, 2020, Joe Biden led. He led big in every single one of our polls. For the first time in November, Donald Trump polled ahead in our poll, and now at 5 points, this is the biggest lead NBC has ever had in 16 polls for Donald Trump over Joe Biden. And, of course, undergirding all of this is this question of he is the incumbent, Joe Biden. We ask voters, what do you think of the job he's doing? And look at that, Kristen, 37% approve and now 60% disapprove.
60% disapprove. You can't win an election. That's ridiculous to even think they're going to win, have any chance at all. But like we've been saying, they're going to switch Biden out. And like Biden was saying, he said during the debates he was a transitional president. He was only going to serve one term. Everybody's kept quiet about that. Here we go. Maybe I should have saved this for closer to April. April 15th, tax reminder. Don't forget to pay your taxes. 21 million illegal aliens are depending on you. Pay your taxes. Wait a minute. Let me get that video off there. Where'd it go? There, get rid of that. So how many of y'all has seen the video where election night? I'm gonna play it just so it's in the record. It's in the record. Wait a minute. David says I'm false. Okay, well, I'll dig back an article I had 2 years ago about the relationship of Jussie Smollett and Kamala Harris. He's her nephew. And when he pulled his hoax that he's currently sitting in jail for, she was trying to push through a bill that nobody asked for and nobody wanted. Nobody had a problem. It's already illegal. But they wanted to push a federal bill through, anti-lynching bill. Like anybody's been lynched in America in the last 75 years. So you see how they work? They try to get some kind of a bill passed through to make it seem like there's a bunch of conservative crazies out there that they need to pass a bill. So then he sets up a thing where somebody puts a rope around his neck and tells him this is MAGA country and all that crap. Now, good, he's sitting in jail now. anti-Kamala can bail him out. Yeah, the man with a plan and a bottle of bleach. You telling me Jussie Smollett wasn't a phony thing? And it just so happened to be the dead of winter in Chicago. He faked a thing where he lied and said two white people tried to put a rope around his neck. At the same time, Kamala's trying to push a bill through that nobody even knows what the hell. What are you talking about, anti-lynching law? Just garbage. Here's how they knew. Here's how they knew. They were gonna screw up the election. All right. Listen to him talking about when this should have been over, and look at some of these totals. Trump was leading by over 100,000 votes, and now every newscaster was saying, "Well, they still got to count the ballots that came in the boxes." You know what I mean, folks? In the boxes, right?
Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. Now that's where things stand. Michigan with 33% of the vote in, Donald Trump has a lead. Wisconsin 35% of the vote in, Donald Trump has a lead. Pennsylvania 31% of the vote in, Donald Trump has a lead. John Carl, the question there is that a red mirage or is something different happening here?
I mean, in all of these states, first of all, they're going to take time to get final results. All of these states are states that do not process mail-in vote as it comes in, which is the opposite of what we see in Arizona, the opposite of what we see in Florida. So we always knew there was going to be a bit of a red mirage. Those are going to be more Democratic votes. Those numbers will change. The question is, how much will they change?
We cannot emphasize enough.
Yeah, they can't emphasize enough. And the votes will change. We don't know how much. Every other election by 9 o'clock at night, we knew who the winner was, except for 2-0. And prior to that, we knew who the winner was. Anybody that didn't know Trump won in 2016 was a delusional fool, and they drug it out till 3 in the morning. And David, don't worry, you're welcome here, buddy. I'll go back and forth with you, and we're all nice to everybody here. That's good, David. You haven't watched CNN for years. That's good. But anyway, but listen to them how they already have the narrative set up. Trump was way ahead. And we're talking anybody who thinks Biden won Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, they're delusional. And I'm going to keep playing this video, but the bottom line is there were more votes tallied than there were registered voters in this country. Almost 20 million more registered. Trump was 74 or 76, and Biden at 81. Add that together, it's almost 20 million more than there were people actually registered in this country. So I'll let it keep playing.
We're nowhere close to the finish line in any of those states. Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan. We need to count votes, and some of those counts could take until tomorrow. But we talked earlier about Joe Biden having the more menu options. Some of those menu options appear to be closing. We're not done yet, but that we still have, that we can't take Florida away. Still red over there. North Carolina, we'll see on Georgia. Joe Biden had many menu options coming into the night. That list is narrowing, which is why you're getting potential.
Hold on a second. Let me see what you're saying here, David. Now, David, while I'm talking, do me a favor and don't type listen to what I'm saying so we can have a conversation. You can't listen to me plus type. You say, this election stuff is BS. Look at Ohio that night. Biden was way ahead until midnight. Then Trump took the lead at 2 a.m. and won the state. Wait a minute. Their whole excuse here, where Trump was ahead in Pennsylvania by over 100,000 votes, Trump was ahead in Georgia by over 100,000 votes, and it all switched up after 2 a.m. The big excuse is that the majority of the ballots that came in a box, you know what I mean, with a stamp on it, I can't say the word or they take me down. All right? That the majority of those types of votes were going for Biden. That's how they justify their excuse. So how, if that was the case, how could it be opposite in Ohio? Okay? Anyway, how can there be almost 20 million more tallied votes, more tallied votes than there are registered people in the entire country? It's easy math.
And those taking a very close look at the vote.
Exactly what John was talking about. I know it's red on the map right now, but we gotta make sure we count the votes here.
We got a long way to go, and I still think Pennsylvania, in a lot of ways, is gonna settle this thing.
Because both of them could get over the hump, you're saying, with Pennsylvania.
Yeah, there's a hackneyed phrase, right? You're saying there's a chance.
Yeah.
Well, I think for both candidates, yeah, we're saying there's a chance.
That's the guy that was running Fox News Decision Desk. And I guarantee you, he is going to have to give an interview and explain that Arizona call. Well, David, that's fine. You got that delusion, but you can't tell me how there could be 20 million more than there were actual human beings registered to vote in the country. And how you can have ballots with the exact same signatures on them, thousands of them, clearly written by the same hand, the same name. In Georgia, Trump only lost by 10,000 votes. 10,000. The entire election was decided by 43,000 votes divided by 5 states. maybe 47,000 divided by 5 states. Anybody that can't see that criminality that's going on, I'm not going to say I feel sorry for you. Stupid is as stupid does. Don't be stupid. Be smart. I know people can be smart. Why they choose to be stupid, I do not know. Just like this climate change here. Let me wrap up with this. I listened to this for about 3 minutes. How do we know climate change is caused by humans? Sabine Hossenfelder, 302,000 views. It's us. Send this to your uncle who still thinks it's a hoax. I put in the comments, I said, go huff a warm spring down in Yellowstone National Park, you chicken little. You take all the thermal vents just in Yellowstone National Park. Just in Yellowstone National Park. And you could run every car on the face of this earth for thousands of years. You couldn't match Yellowstone National Park, much less all the other volcanoes and under sea thermal vents that are putting out way more crap than you could ever put out. Here you go. Here you go, climate changers. This is what catastrophic sea level rise actually looks like. 1898 and 2017. Right there. But these people, they get paid to put these videos out, and their videos get preference. Their videos get preference. Here, I got one more for you. So Democrats can be the party of climate change hoax, alien invasion from other countries, okay? Wars in Ukraine, wars in the Middle East. That's the Democrat Party for you. There's Plymouth Rock, 1620, 1920, 2023. Here you go. Stick up for your man right here. Stick up for Joe. Crooked Joe is selling you out. He's selling you out to China. He's selling you out to environmentalists. He's extremists on the radical left. President Donald J. Trump. Here you go. Here's your hero. Here's 81 million vote Joe. Biden has ever got his hands dirty is when he's taking cash from foreign countries. Proven cash, theft, bribes, not finger pointing and cheap excuses, cheap accusations. And when this stuff gets all shaken out, there are people going to be going to jail over this. And I got some names written down. Wait a minute, right here. Here we go. It's all about. That's all what it was all about. Putting masks on so they can go around riot and tear up stuff and hard to identify them and arrest them. Well, I can't go down to my precinct because it's dangerous. Stay home, stay safe. A big hoax. If I was a still a Biden supporter, I would never show my face in public again. And you got that right. When you see them in a car by themselves with one of them things on, you know you're dealing with a nut. A damn nut. And we're tired of being nice about it. Miss Mendersue. Thank you, Miss Mendersue. I'm sorry it took me 38 minutes to acknowledge you, but I've been on my tangents. Where are you at, Miss Mendersue? You in here? Thank you, Miss Mendersue, for going to buy me a coffee and helping the old man out. There you are. Any DRs and any doctors in the house? Come quickly. It's okay, David. Don't get mad at anybody, David. Don't get mad at me either. That's right. I don't like lies. I don't either. I don't like them. Oh, Freedom Rider here. Freedom, you keep coming in late. Republicans are known to parties against personal freedom. You got a bolt loose. No, I'm just chiding you now. Chiding. They want to tell people how to live their lives. Very hypocritical. Yeah, right. What are you talking about? We don't want to let people come up to a child, right? And have them do this. Here, if they haven't taken to those lovers of freedom, the story box, okay? See that little girl in the middle with the red hair and glasses? Whoever did that to should be in jail for the rest of their damn life. Whoever did that to that girl. Personal freedom. Personal freedom stops at children. Here, look at this freak. Look here. Professor Tracy Small. Professor, Military and Aerospace Medicine. Air Vice Marshal, retired. They've been doing this woke crap so long in the military, they're starting to retire these creatures. public health announcement. I had a CVID jab. Number six. This was Moderna XBB 1.5. In case you don't know, we're in another major wave with COVID-19 hospitalization rates at the highest for 12 months. If you haven't had a COVID vaccination in the last 6 months, it's worth getting a jab, especially if you're high risk. Oh, and think about wearing a mask in crowded public places. It reduces risk. Here. Is this kind of... Is that who you listen to? Look at it. What the hell did that person ever do in the Air Force worth a hill of beans? Ugh. Disgusting. Here you go. Illegal forward contraband coming across the border. Fentanyl, heroin, Democrat votes. They're talking about giving these people the right to vote. If they get 14 days in the country without being caught, they get amnesty. If they get in the border over 100 miles and they get caught, they get amnesty. And what happens after that? They get a motor voter. They're registered to vote under motor voter. So don't give me any of this nonsense. It's a damn replacement. They're replacing people. Bigotry? What am I being a bigot about? What's bigoted about that? It's a freak. You don't know when you're looking at a weirdo? How'd you like to wake up to that in the morning? My God. Here we go. Here's another reason why they're freaking out. Once lays off most employees amid steep fall from grace. The organization's voting rights, media, fundraising, and grassroots organization efforts will be slashed, according to one report. What was she doing over in Africa trying to be involved in elections over in Africa? Trying to sell contraptions, the kind you plug into the wall that we don't need by dumb, and the other part is onion. She's over there manipulating elections. And she ain't doing it over here anymore. And she did way more jibber jabber about how fair elections were when she lost. When she lost, everything was crooked, everything was wrong, and nobody gave her any grief. She's another one. You right there, you're looking on the screen, is going to end up in jail. Right there. Going to end up in jail. Mark my words. But I like this one. I'll put this up one more time. Let me see what's going on in the chats. The face. Yeah, everything. If you don't agree with him, you're a bigot. Hi, Allie. Allie said, can you define far right? Come on, no cheating. Don't goggle it. Don't ask propaganda media. Far right. No safe spaces. You got that right, Gary. All right, folks. So we're having a little fun, and everybody, we are tolerant here. We tolerate other ideas, and we will answer questions and pose a few for ourselves. Just remember, when you type, you can't listen to responses. Yeah. Hey, we had a friend that used to say, I said, why don't you ask her out? He said, she's a butterface. I said, what do you mean butterface? He said, everything looks good but her face. So, anyway, here you go. Woke ideology right here. The last thing your airplane Hi, Mike. You're not the biggest Biden supporter. Well, I hope you wouldn't even be a small Biden supporter. But, you'll have to listen to us. Oh, my God. Johnny wants Nancy Pelosi OnlyFans. I'm gonna barf. Yeah, Mr. T's loved around the world. He's loved around the world. They just, the media doesn't report it that way. Here, this is the kind of crap they put out. Wait a minute. Whoa, I got to get what's her face off the screen. I got too many things on the screen. There, we can get her off there. Right here. Oh my gosh. Here's what they put up. Let me tell you, Fannie Willis is going to jail. Okay? She got caught stealing money. All right? She's interfering with election. You can't have local DAs chasing down a president with a bunch of BS accusations. But anyway, this is the kind of crap they put out. Pulling out the receipts. Fulton County DA bites back against Trump's weak attack. Trump didn't have nothing to do with her. See how they stick together? See how they stick together? It's just like this one here. You see that message? They get paid to put up the same crap. Prosecutor punches back hard against Trump. I showed that at the beginning of the video. And then some totally different outlet here. She bites back against Trump's weak attack. It's all coordinated horse hockey, horse crap that they're putting out. Trump didn't have anything to do with her deciding to have an affair with an employee of her office. He didn't have anything to do with her stealing money to go on Bahamian vacations. He didn't have anything to do with her paying this character, this clown, almost $1 million. But it's Trump's fault. But she's fighting back. How's she going to fight back when she's got handcuffs on and U.S. Marshals are stuffing her in the back of a vehicle? Well, I beg to differ, David. I think she will go to jail for a very long time for engaging in this election interference, but she will go to jail for taking this money. She will go to jail for abusing her office. This is the tip of the iceberg. And here, might as well, Taylor Swift right here. There she is. They're all jumping up. Taylor Swift is going to change the election around. Taylor Swift, what? Yay. I'm telling you, Judge Engoron is not going to be a judge anymore. Judge Kaplan is not going to be a judge anymore. Judge Chutkin is not going to be a judge anymore. Alvin Bragg, he's not going to be a prosecutor anymore. Jack Smith is probably going to end up in jail over the international extortion he's being investigated for, plus election interference. And then you got Fannie Willis. So mark my words. Mark my words, folks. Anyway, let me see here. What do we got? One more thing I'll put up here. Here we go. E. Jean Carroll. Before I put that up, right here, folks. This is not CARE. The story box. Look it up. See what you're supporting. Kind of garbage. And people are going to go to jail over that. I'll guarantee you that. I'm so sorry that bad man touched you. Let's wait 30 years until he runs against a Democrat to tell everyone. E. Jean Carroll, that old nut. Here, is this one of your heroes? She's going to be deported after she serves her jail time. She needs to be deported. There you go. Biden's greatest accomplishment is waking up people, showing people how great Trump was. And man, if that ain't the truth. Thank you, Joe. So I'll tell you what. We got new people in here. Here you go. I was looking for that. Here you go. There you go. Take a screenshot of that. Take a screenshot of that, David. 100 million registered voters. Okay. There you go. You don't need to be Einstein to see voter fraud. Get a screenshot, David. You better come back, too. We want to see you back. And we want to see you in a better mood. We want to say, we want you to be happy and look forward to a great future for our country. And don't think this one's going to come in and save the day either. Because we're on to this one. The majority of the American people are going to find out and realize how they were defrauded back when the Obamas were running. We were defrauded. We were told they were a normal couple back when it was not lawful to have same-sex marriage. What are y'all fighting about? That's right. Don't be telling people who they follow. I don't watch Ben Shapiro either. I don't watch any of his stuff. Don't assume. Don't assume. You try to categorize people and put them in a box, and that pukes people out. Don't puke people out. All right. We're going to close with this. This is one of the biggest criminal acts that has ever been done in our country when they took this statement down and they did not broadcast it on every channel across the country. People should, whoever decided to take this video down, whoever refused to show this video should go to jail, and I believe they will go to jail, and I'll play the video now. They took it down. Okay, folks, enjoy Mr. T making history, and he's going to make history again. The best is yet to come. Thank you for spending your precious time with me. Thank you, Miss Mendersue. Thank you to Bev and Mike for helping support me tonight. And I'll go ahead and play Mr. T. You all have a great night, and I'll be back soon. This is Mountainman, over and out.
I know you're hurt. We had an election that was stolen from us. It was a landslide election. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened, where they could take it away from all of us, from me, from you, from our country. This was a fraudulent election, but we can't play into the hands of these people. So go home. We love you. You're very special. You've seen what happens. You see the way others are treated that are so bad and so evil. I know how you feel. But go home and go home in peace.